What's happening, guys? Welcome to the roundtable again.
All right. Do we have like a number of these yet? Like what number we're on? Probably not.
When
right?
Will was doing them, yeah, but I'm the worst, so I just like put a fucking date up or something like that, and and it's good.
Okay, cool.
Let me talk to the guys. See, I don't know if
we just gotta count them.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know if somebody could let me know in the chat if we're actually on the screen. I know we had an issue the other day at the conference. So at the Crypto Valley conference, so let me know if you guys see us and what have you. You can hear us, okay?
Shit, I actually did it. Hold on, somebody told me to grind on the edge of this table. I actually did it for a second. What's it called? I can see the screen just fine, dude. I don't know about the other
cool.
guys.
I'm gonna refresh. I actually can't see the screen just fine, so I'm gonna refresh.
Okay.
So yeah, we ran an event the other day at the Crypto Valley, and I had a little kind of like some technical stuff with the video, and I'm pretty sure it's on Decentraland's end because HP was watching through he was watching the stream, and he was like, nah, it's good over here, So I'm hoping that it looks good today. Like I said, we'll address these things as we go, and that's been the ride the whole time. Will talks about it all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like a philosophy that Will kind of had to even grill into my fucking head, because I'm that big idea type person. I like to go balls to the wall, full throttle.
Yeah, me too.
But sometimes you over I don't know what the fucking word is, but you go beyond what the reality is. You know what I mean? So you gotta strategize accordingly to what is possible.
What's actually possible. Yeah. And you know what? It's actually not a bad thing to be that way, because you start thinking about what your goal is, where you want to head towards. And even though it may not be technically feasible today, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah.
And plus you might be able to figure out something else that you weren't thinking about before. So, because if you're too close to the code, you start losing sight as to what else is possible.
Definitely, because it just sounds like 10 hours of work every single time somebody comes up with a new idea. You're like, new idea? Fuck, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've been there. Ever since I started doing anything with the code or anything with Blender, I'm just like, no, a new idea. It's supposed to be forward. When I wasn't doing all that, I was like, yeah, what if? And imagine? And I'm like, no, I don't even want to imagine nothing anymore,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. That's the problem, is you start getting to the code, and then one little change, you make that change, it breaks something else.
Yeah.
And then you have to go back and redo everything.
Yeah. But I have noticed that since we got these the messaging, something has been not perfect, is what I'm saying. We were running a certain kind of way just before this messaging thing came out, and then now things are.
I lost all my friends.
You lost your friends.
I didn't have any chat ability for at least 48 hours.
Yeah.
But it looks like everything's back to normal. So
right now, do you guys have a screen? Because I do not have a screen right now.
I do see it in Decentraland.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I do.
I don't know what's going on here with my stuff. And again,
what's going on with the duplicate avatars?
Yeah,
that's been hilarious
too.
Oh, were you guys just okay?
Yeah, it just.
I got one over there. I got a clone over there.
Yeah.
He'll start walking around in a little bit.
It's been a thing for a few days now, right?
Yeah, that's my response to Ethermon. That's my Ethermon.
Yeah.
I gotta reload again. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I just dropped that. Looks good.
So let's recap everything that's happened this week. It feels like the last time we spoke was 2 weeks ago. Again.
Yeah.
The last roundtable we had was really cool. That was one with the.
Was that with Roy?
That was Friday. Yeah.
Holy shit! This stuff is crazy. It feels like it's been a month.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Everything that goes on in a week,
Yeah, man.
I've been in contact with Roy. I've been basically trying to link him with whatever I got going on. I'm trying to see if he can find a way to also be doing something similar or be involved or some way. I'm always like, hey Roy, I got this thing going on. Check this out. Whether he has a time for me or not. I just always kind of throw it in his inbox now.
No, that's good because I was a little worried about because like I think a good message came out from that roundtable that not a lot of people saw or like around maybe like the immediate audience saw it, but the whole message of like the cultural mission pool that this platform can
I
create.
joined
Yeah, I saw
WeChat
what joining there.
that discussion.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a bunch of they have a lot of enthusiasm behind the Ethermon, man. The group in that WeChat.
So I don't quite understand WeChat too well, just because all the groups that I'm in are in Chinese. So I don't know like what group.
Do you know how to do the translate? You just right click the words and you can translate right away.
Oh really?
Yeah,
well,
that's how you do it.
Pasting in Google.
What's this?
I've been copying and pasting in Google.
Oh no! Just right click the actual text and you can just like you're in there. Yeah. That's how they're responding to you so quickly.
What is WeChat? Is it like a Facebook or like a Twitter? Like
I guess it'd be like a combination of those things, and then you can also use payments in WeChat.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I saw this, but like the translation in there wasn't as clear as it's in Google. So, but yeah, this is okay, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm not so I've got a still screen. I don't know if you guys have a moving screen, but man,
it's moving for me.
All right, cool. I don't know what's going on with my stuff, and it's been lately with me and Decentraland like just not been being friends. I guess I don't know. Like the actual
So Frankie, are you in like a general Decentraland chat that's not focused on Ethermon? Because I'm all in the Ethermon DCL chats.
I mean, they're mainly talking about the Ethermon, but if you just go in there and start talking about something else, they'll kick it with you. Okay. Yeah.
So
like I said, if you translate some of those things, like they're talking about other things too.
Okay.
Can you guys send me that link? I want to join.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta find it. I'll find it. It was a Twitter because it's like a scan link. You just scan the phone, and then you're kind of in there. Yeah. I had tagged when he tagged me in that. I tagged as many people as I could fit in there that I could remember. I thought I tagged you. I don't know. I did my best. I did my best, but I'll figure it out and I'll find a way to get it to more people because I think that we should all be in there. And if you can just right click and then translate. Just get up in there and start talking, man. They're so open to doing stuff,
Yeah, because it's kind of like the balls in our court, right? Because they're literally not allowed to come like and interact with us, right? Isn't that how it works over there?
I'm on my own business when it comes to that kind of thing. I mean, but hey, what I'll tell you, what I'll tell you is that what Will said last week about like how when we kind of mentioned that to him, and it was like that's kind of how they are. There's like they're definitely about like decentralization and doing things like that way and stuff like that. So they're super open to talking and chatting and pretty cool.
I think because like they're from that specific region of, I think he said that like from the south, closer to like where the Hong Kong,
closer to Hong Kong.
Yeah. So like the culture's probably different over there, It's like man, but still,
Yeah, I figured they're not in Discord because of their great wall of fire over there. The firewall of China.
Yeah, I've heard about this. Yeah, I don't know enough about the politics and stuff like that, so I don't really know what's up. But I don't know. They like I said, they're all super like receptive and stuff, so it's cool.
Yeah. So what else happened? It was a crazy week. I think obviously with all the riots that are happening right now, and then everything else with. What do you call it? With I think COVID. I mean, everybody forgot about COVID, right? Like,
my man told me he's saying the same thing. I saw kind of like a funny meme. It was like it said like the media had like a car and then just like somebody get thrown out the car, like that's COVID. You know what I mean? Just like they forgot about it, or threw it to the side. I'm still doing the same thing that I've been doing, standing right here working on Decentraland, not going very far. I'm not out there protesting for my own reasons. I have a long conversation with Clark about that the other day, but I come from like the street culture, man, and I made a couple phone calls about that, and it's way more important to have a conversation with your people and educate them on the subject, especially if you come from a past like that, because people that I've grown up with and been doing things with over my life, we've all been involved with this stuff, like police brutality. Like this comes with the territory when you're doing crimes. Let's just be honest. You know what I mean? So what I've noticed is a lot of the people who are mostly upset about this, the most upset about it, are people who've never had those kind of interactions really, you know?
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of it is the injustice, Frankie. Like what we're seeing now in these videos with all these cop killings and all that stuff, that's been happening for decades.
True, but the one thing that when it ramped up was after the war, and I've been saying it since, because I had a real close friend that I used to do a lot of dirt with. Let's just be honest, right? And he became a police officer after the war. He went to Iraq right after 9/11, and then after the war, they were recruiting him like a star baseball player. You know what I'm saying?
Are you talking about like Desert Storm?
No. Right after 9/11.
What's that called?
Iraq. Iraq. He went to Iraq, and so the police were like recruiting him like he was some sort of, like I said, like some sort of football, prodigy or something like that, and ever since then I've seen a different kind of policing going on in the streets,
Right.
So there is something to address, but if you come from the other side, it comes with the territory, so you understand things for what they are. So I'm seeing, I'm out here in Boston. I got a couple friends went out there, and so I'm here in what I call the command center with all the TVs and everything set up, and I'm watching different streams, and I'm noticing it's some people out there stirring the pot on purpose, and some of them look like us. Some of them is not just white people doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sure. I like I said, I went to education, having long conversations as opposed to short phrases being said over and over, which I think is very low intelligence to me.
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
Yeah, I went with that.
No, I totally agree. And I was watching. I don't know if you saw the little blurb from Trevor Noah, but he had a good explanation as to why like the rioting makes sense. And it was essentially the fact that people, when in society, we all essentially have signed a social contract to not loot, to not murder, right? We have a vested interest not to do these things. But when you see these videos of cops killing black people constantly, you start to realize that social contract isn't being reciprocated from the other members of the community. And so if that's the case, then why not riot? Why not?
My problem is this, is I find that the initiators seem to be not part of the general culture. And then the people who are falling in line are not leaders.
But you also can't say 100% of the igniters of the riots are all like just
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is the people who are following are followers. I haven't seen a lot of leaders, people who I know as leaders in the street. They're not the ones doing the crimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you got somebody who is a professional in crime and he's not the one looting, maybe you should follow suit on that one.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and all he was saying, Trevor Noah was saying that it's just the social contract is obviously broken, and therefore they're just showcasing like what it looks like when a social contract is broken. And there you have fires and riots and all that stuff.
Like I said, I get it, but at the same time, I'm seeing a lot of followers out there. And as a leader in that kind of culture, I reached out to all my people and made sure they're educated. And that's what that was my part that I played in this. And I feel like I've been able to reach some people. And, that's what was most important to me.
Yeah, I got a text message. I think it was last night from my sister. It says, all 50 states plus 18 countries participated in Black Lives Matter protests as of today, making it the largest civil rights movement in world history.
Which I find funny because just recently, there was some atrocities going on in all kinds of parts of the world, like Mexico, like, even nobody's protesting about what's going on in Hong Kong. You know what I'm saying? So, like, not nobody, but nobody in different countries, all in unison.
The whole world,
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I have a very questionable outlook on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like wouldn't they have been protesting in Texas about all that fucking shit in Mexico just not that long ago?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They killing reporters. Like you reported that? Yeah. Whoop. And
a lot of it has to do with like the times we're living in too, where there's like 14% unemployment. There's a pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's locking everybody in. There's like just mass frustration.
Followers, though, you know what I'm saying? In my brain, I have to attribute a lot of this to people who are following a movement as opposed to leading the movement. You know, so for instance, out here, I know I told you guys about this. When they had their first protest, before anybody was protesting, other places were protesting. Boston was not, right? So then all of a sudden a flyer comes out like there's about to be a fucking album release party or some shit like that. And it's for the protest. It's sponsored by nobody, right? Nobody's taking responsibility for it. It's just a flyer. Come out wearing black. Come out at 6:30. The fuck kind of recipe is that? Right. You know what I'm saying? So to me, again, I was speculative. I was skeptical. I stood back. I had some conversations with some people who I respect in that kind of, you know, in the streets. And then I sat back, and then when I saw things going the wrong way, I told everyone I know to come home because I knew things were going to go the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I didn't want them looking like them.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Me, we'll talk about this, or we did, you know, talk about this a lot back in before Decentraland consumed our lives, about like the whole idea of, you know, in order for Bitcoin to kind of supplant the traditional financial system, there has to be some kind of like catastrophic failure to the, you know, economic model that our society runs on. It's literally like the value proposition of Bitcoin. So like in order for it to become, you know, as valuable as all these Bitcoin maximalists say it is, this scenario has to occur. So then you kind of got to think about like what that looks like, what that transition period looks like. We could be in the beginning phases of that, where we're starting to see like some civil unrest. We're starting to see like,
you know, I was telling somebody, I forgot who that was. I was like, yo, this shit is kind of playing out like the Bitcoin time traveler.
Yeah.
Like, what's the first thing? Ever heard that story? You know what I mean? It really is playing out that way. I heard about that. Yeah. Like, okay, he might have missed a couple predictions, but man, this is kind of fitting the bill. You know what I mean?
I gotta go back and read that.
Oh yeah, it's a good dig. Like if you really want to dig deep on some shit, man, that's a good dig. For sure.
Yeah, he predicted 100K Bitcoin like pretty soon, right?
Yeah, but he also predicted like 15,000 in October, and that was one he missed real hard on last October. So, but like a lot of stuff did hit, and what he described was a world where things were all messed up in the world. So people that had Bitcoin got rich, but then things were all messed up in the world, so they had to like seclude themselves from the world because they couldn't like coexist with the regular public because everybody was poor and down for whatever. And so like, you know, you kind of see this thing going that way, and you're like, man, is this guy like on some real shit? You know, and then you can go into like, you can go down the rabbit hole if you want, you know, but
yeah. I mean, you could speculate those predictions, you know, based off what we.
Well, if time travel was real, you would be going between dimensions, and you wouldn't be going straight through a timeline. So yeah, I mean, you can miss on a fucking number for sure, you know. Again, it's super. All that's super speculative. I'm just saying, like, you know, the story that he told is starting to have some legs as far as just like the way the world is going.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it almost seems like the timing of Bitcoin was just too perfect. The whole story behind it, that's what so attracted to me. The fact that nobody knows who created it. It almost seems like everyone's starting to believe in this whole simulation theory concept that we're all living in a simulation. It almost seems like it's like the perfect, like, whoever the fuck the creator of the simulation, he just like wanted to throw in this little curveball and see what the fuck happened. Yeah,
spice.
He just coded this in. He's like, man, I'm just gonna put this in, see what happens. It just feels too perfect.
Did you see the interview with the guy? It was like some sort of mainstream media situation, and the guy was like, you know, if we were to get out of the system and not use their system and use Bitcoin, they were like, cut. That was really funny.
Right, yeah, he was being interviewed on the street.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, just talking to some guy here. He started talking about Bitcoin. They're like, talking to someone else, you know.
Yeah.
So I hope.
I had that thought too.
I have my own bearish, like, you know, how predictive. I feel bearish in the next like 10, 20 years, just because like we've had like 100 years or so of like economic excellence, you know, in the United States. Especially.
I mean, overall bearish, but bullish on crypto.
Oh, I'm not even talking about crypto, dude. I'm just talking about society in general. You know. But
I have to. There's some guy I was listening to, and he was calling it our 75-year nap. Can't remember who was coining that phrase, but it was like from World War II until now, like we've just been in this giant nap where like nothing's really happened that serious in society.
Yeah.
Like there hasn't been like a serious turning point, like a war that they would have like every 50 years or something like that.
My thing about that though is, and like most wars are perpetuated by some sort of power that wants more power, and there's always a consolidation of power after said war. So I've always been against almost every war because of that. You know, when I was little I didn't know, but I was still, you know, I still felt that way. But as I've gotten older, I understand it, and it's almost, that's a weird thing to me that like I was against the war in Kuwait when I was like 7. You know what I mean? I didn't know. I was just like, because my father was going, and I was like, we're from Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? What business do you have in Kuwait? You know what I mean? Like, I'm 7 years old, and then ever since then, I just kind of been like, I don't mess with war, man. Like war, you know, I like fights. You know, I'll fight you. You know what I mean? But I'll fight you. You know what I mean? I don't need to have, you know, like everybody that, not even everybody I know, but everybody over here, like everybody that's over here, we're against that over there. Like that's a ridiculous thought to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just better ways to obtain power than going in guns blazing these days. Like you just
better way
go
to
in
live,
and
you know?
you just like handle a government. I don't know. It's just different. It's still happening. It's just not with tanks on the ground, boots on the ground.
Oh yeah, you ever heard the Confessions of an Economic Hitman?
Oh yeah,
economic hitman.
Yeah. Just basically go in and, you know, like cripple a country economically, and if they won't go with that, then you come in with the army. You know, that's the gist.
Oh yeah,
that
seems to be Trump's strategy these days. He's doing that left and right with Iran.
I think that every president since a long time ago is kind of followed that thing.
It's definitely a strategy. What they do is the country gives a bunch of loans to a
IMF loans. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And that's why the countries in South America, like in the past, like our lifetime, kind of backed away from the IMF, and that's why the powers that be don't like that. You know.
And once the country can't pay, they'll be like, "Hey, you can't pay? That's cool. Can we just set up this army base here?"
Yeah, or can we set up a, you know, like bring free trade, you know, bring the Gap in, and then their people work for like $3 a year or something crazy, you know. That's why like you got people in Venezuela playing Axie for a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's always mind blowing to me every time you guys keep bringing that up. Just because, it just seems it brings me back to my WoW days of like, dude, there was like an actual industry of that, like of Chinese gold farmers. And I used to hear tales of like how horrible like the working conditions were. They were literally like sweatshops of people who were like setting up like huge, you know, essentially mining farms, but with actual human labor. You know what I mean?
Right.
Before the concept of like, you know, hashing and all that shit was, well, I'm sure the concept was there, but that wasn't the value that was being created. Was literally just for like, you know, this digital virtual world. So I think that's the direction we're heading towards, like for this whole metaverse thing.
Yeah, that, you know, I think that almost like where the value comes into what we're doing here, especially in Decentraland, with it being decentralized. We're gonna go through some rocky times coming up soon in Decentraland, and it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be able to figure out how to govern ourselves. That's not going to happen smooth. So get ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel, you know?
No, we're already seeing it, like in the community debates, dude. They get heated.
Yeah. And they're gonna. People are attached to their money, you know, and it's cool. You know, I've had the how do you say it? The luxury of kind of being able to stay out of it, you know? This time around, because last time around I was a part of it, and this time around I've been able to stay out of it. I don't feel I have a lot going on that is good. So I am going to continue doing the good things that I'm doing, you know. And I've been taught that by some really smart people, so I'm going to continue doing that.
That's good. We're going to get an announcement soon, or something, or what?
I'm sure. And, you know, I don't have no dates about announcements, you know, but we've been working on the news. All you guys know that. So that's definitely a thing. But I had to go back to work, like essentially, like I was working hard on the news, and yes, it's important, but there is no news if I don't do 100 interviews all the time. So I'm getting back to that. I'm going to be talking to some people. I'm going to, I think I'm talking to Chestnut Brews next week sometime about their project.
That's Meteor, right?
The Meteor Shower project, yeah. And I'm going to be talking to Ty. He's coming out with his club, the Soul U Club.
Oh yeah, dude, that place is badass.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm getting back to that, and then I'll get back to kind of reaching out. I started reaching out back to artists, real artists that I want to put in crypto art. You know, people that I admire in the real art world, and I want them to be crypto artists. So, you know, I've been kind of reaching out to them. I think I need to get back into reaching out to crypto artists that exist, that I have relationships with, and maybe get them in. So I just, again, if I slow down my pace, then it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be as helpful to what we're doing with the news anyway. So I think that, you know, as much as I can be a huge help to that project, and I am I'm one of the guys, but at the same time, if I'm not going hard with what I'm doing here, then I don't think that all plays out the way it's supposed to anyway. So I'm happy to come back to work, kind of, you know, like, all right, let me get back to doing my interviews and talking to people, building my relationships with such and the other, and, you know, this all plan to play out.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's like we're all getting more and more involved with this project, and in my case, it's like I have like a new job. Essentially, it's kind of like a marketing thing that I've never. I mean, before all this, I had a small business, so I have experience a little bit in like the marketing thing. But this is like a whole new realm. It's like digital marketing space.
Yeah, I've been learning that a lot.
I have a lot of conversations with Maddie. I see Anorak here getting like hardcore traction on like every single tweet he puts out, so that definitely helps. Like learning how to, like, you know, get your voice out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I'm learning how to use like these editing tools and stuff to create videos. So like you said, it's like if it doesn't feel like work, because it's actually fun. Like I'm actually enjoying this process a lot, but I think that's something to be like cognizant of. Like,
you know, I always wonder from the perspective of Decentraland, you know, what do they think of all this? They've created a platform that has galvanized like human bodies on the planet to help create, build, and push their project, their platform. Like we don't know what their thoughts are. I mean, is this what they expected? Did they think there was going to be more of this or less of this? Are they surprised by any of it? You know, I don't know.
I really think they're going like full on like Satoshi method with like everything they're doing.
I think
they'd
like to disappear at some point. Like
exactly, they just want become ghosts and like be like that. It's like like 10 years from now, everyone's like, who the fuck started this?
I think there would be like the legend of Toon and the legend of Esteban and like shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like the legend of, you know, like, you actually knew those dudes, you know, type thing. You know, like
exactly. I think they have no intention to come out and like put their voice out there. Like
I honestly don't even push them to. You know, like this, I could be the worst with that. You know, if I wanted to be. And I just don't. I think it's cool that they're in the background and they're doing what they have to do. Their work is so much, and if you see it like any kind of firsthand, then you know that their work is so fucking much. And I know from coding this little piece of land right here that you're all standing on, that's got to be some shit, you know. So I just
we experienced that today too.
Yeah.
With Dapcraft, I mean, it didn't go as smoothly as people would have hoped.
Yeah,
but, it's better to set sail and correct course rather than like try to get everything perfect, because one of the thing about Decentraland or any project or any business, you're never finished. There is no done, there is no deploy, there isn't. It's a process, it's a journey, and it's a thing that just keeps going. And you know, throughout that journey, there's going to be some missteps. There's going to be some wrong turns, and I mean, everybody has to be cognizant about that and be flexible and not, you know, start claiming, you know, anything that it's not, like scams or anything like that.
Well, you know, every business is going to have somebody calling it a scam. In crypto, shit.
That's true.
I think in crypto, you start out as a scam, period.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, keep it real. You know, like, it's not like that it is. I'm saying, like, from the perception of the person that looks at it. So, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Listen, whatever, how I feel about it or how this person feels about it, how that person feels about it, it doesn't matter because, you know, if at the end of the day it turns out to be something, then it'll hold itself up. And if it fails, then it'll fail. You know?
Yeah.
And that's going to go for Decentraland, not even this one or any business in Decentraland. That's going to go for everything, myself included. You know, this could not work out for me. You know, all these interviews and making these connections, they can mean nothing. And at the end of the day, I'm like, oh wow, I got to go back to some job over there or whatever. You know, so I think that you know, I'm going hard for what I'm doing, but at the same time, you know, who knows what it's going to turn around and be. You know,
dude, it's the same thing. When we started a podcast, it's not like we knew where we were going. We were just like, hey, let's just do it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And you can't really predict some of this stuff. That's why, you know, the message is just do it. Just do whatever it is that you want to do. Create free stuff. Create stuff that people buy. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Just do it.
Yeah, we spoke about it when I spoke to you guys when we did the Ethermon interview, and you know, like about our kind of like our differences and thoughts on it. And I'm just like, but it doesn't matter what you guys do. I'm gonna do mine different. You know, so why would it matter? Like, we'll just see what happens. See what works better. See what's taken to better, you know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it. I look at it like I'm never gonna let something get in my way if I have a vision, you know what I mean? No one's opinion, especially, but nothing is honestly I'm not gonna let it, you know, if I have like, oh, I want to get over there, I'm not gonna let a river get in my way. I'm not gonna let a building get in my way, the cops, like nothing, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go over there, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it takes that kind of determination to do something that nobody's ever done before. You know?
Yeah, and then you have to take feedback constructively, and even though that some of that feedback is just like pure toxic, like nonetheless, like you just like start picking out like the useful stuff from that feedback.
Exactly. You gotta take from what it is, and also, you know, don't let it stop you from working. You know.
Yeah.
So if it's slowing down your work, okay, it's time to check out from that. You know, that's why I was joking about that on one of the roundtables that we did, where I was like, you know, I'm still in the wearables chat all the time, you know, but I don't speak in there as much as I used to because I don't really have much to say anymore. You know, I check out the day, you know, who's saying what, because I feel like I'm a part of that conversation for sure. You know, when it comes to like buying and selling and trading wearables, one of my favorite things to do in DCL. But you know, I'm busy now, and I don't have even the time to speculate. I'm busy doing shit, and I'm blessed to be busy doing shit. You know what I mean? It feels great, but you know, I still love the speculation. It's fun. That part is legitimately fun to me, and I'll continue to be like doing that. Like, you know, that's fun. So I'm gonna do that. But at the same time, it's way more important to me to build a news network and to do these interviews and keep the roundtables going, work on my Axie team, work with Maddie in the conferences, and keep myself busy, you know, doing stuff that is beneficial to Decentraland outside of just my own fun speculation project, you know, and you know, buying and selling. And like I said, that's super fun to me. I have fun with it. I've made my money. I ain't tripping. Like, you know, I made my money, and there's like I'm not gonna be ever in the negative with wearables. Yeah. If I had to burn, I had to put all my shit in the burn while I'd still be fine. I'd be at least even.
Yeah. Hey Frankie, did you buy any of those garbage pail kid packs?
Yeah, I got 9 packs.
Oh shit! You're selling a gold mine, aren't you?
I don't know. I leave I'm not touching that. That's something I'm not gonna touch until.
Dude, that's like tops, man.
Okay, check it out. My thought process on that is my speculation is Topps puts out baseball cards at some point or something of that relevancy, and at that point the original Garbage Pail Kid cards become like the theater mask.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think so too.
So to me,
because this is their first release,
but I didn't get like the Atom Bomb. I didn't get that card. I didn't even look to get it. I just got what I got. I got what I got. Left it there. I'm gonna leave it there until a long time from now. That's something that it was so cool. I always give Open a lot of credit for that because I was sleeping and I woke up at some 5 in the morning and to a notification from Open NFT website, YouTube channel, and I was just like, yeah, Garbage Pail Kids, yeah, I'm in. I was like 4 seconds into the video, I'm already buying shit. Like,
hey, so you buy these packs, and then how many cards do you get per pack?
Oh, jeez, I can't remember. I opened them all. I know that. I wasn't supposed to open them, I don't think, but I opened them shits.
Oh no!
Come on, man. Listen, I own my own entertainment. I had to. I was like, man, this is fun. You know, I was having a blast.
Yeah.
I honestly, it was. I spent like $45 or something on that. I think it was 45, 9 times 5. Whatever, man. It was fun. I had a fun morning.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, I remember joking with that with HP a long time ago during the maze beta test thing that we did. Remember? When I jumped the fence and I was like, had like 12 guys in the middle of it, and HP comes in and he's like, you're not gonna get your awards. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm having fun. You know what I mean? And that's me. That's my personality. I've been poor, man. So it ain't shit. Like, you're not gonna tell me you'll be broke. Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Nothing new to me. You know what I mean? So I'm just having fun. I enjoy life. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So those packs are NFTs, the packs themselves.
Yeah.
And then you can open those and you get more NFTs.
I think
Yeah, I guess so. I guess in that way. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
maybe it's like Gauze and Chain has like the same thing, right? They sell packs.
They sold packs, but I don't know anybody that has them. I know they did sell them, but I don't know.
The reason why I understand is like because Iman was saying that you shouldn't have opened them. So like, okay, so that these must be NFTs that you just keep as a pack.
Yeah, the packs.
It's just
itself,
like
I think are going
the
for
packs are like
$200
give the
or
person
something.
that like I could buy one of those packs and end up with one of the most expensive cards.
Sure.
But I've already opened them. Like, nope, it's not in there. You know, so you know.
But the person you could have sold that pack to, they don't know what's inside it either. That's where the speculative value comes from, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, they're hoping it's got one of these ultra rare cards, so they're willing to pay stupid amounts of money for that shit.
Yeah. It was fun.
It's unreal how quickly they escalated that, you know, speculative value to them.
Yeah, I mean, I went on the website, and I think that one or two of my cards would pay for everything that I got. Like, I got these sketch cards, so I got one or two of those sketch cards would take care of everything.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
But that's like, it's not like a ton of money to me right now, at least. So like, I'll just wait till it's money that I'm like, ooh, that's money, you know.
Hey, Anorak, I saw you put out a tweet about you watched the interview with the guy who created CryptoVoxels, right?
Yeah, Ben Nolan.
Ben, I didn't get to hear anything of that. What did you take from that conversation? Anything interesting about that guy?
Yeah, I mean, he was very thoughtful and like very honest when he was answering questions. The recorded episode is available on Josie's YouTube and Twitch. She's got all of her stuff on there from like the past month. She does an interview like or two every week. But Ben was he just didn't like shy away from answering any of the difficult questions, because everyone's in the Twitch chat like asking questions, and then Josie's asking, and then asks some of her own, and it almost turned into an AMA. For like the last 30 minutes of it.
Was there any of like that? I don't want to call it negative, but Maddie's told me there's been like some community pushback as far as like his monetization models and stuff.
Yeah. So the way that they're going to sell land, and selling the islands, and someone asked him about that. He had a couple questions relating to the islands and the land sales, and I mean, he just answered them. Like, he didn't sit there and act like he shouldn't be like wasting his time or anything answering questions from the community and people who have invested their time and their money into his project. Like, I don't know, it was just really refreshing to see like someone that's a lead in a project and is very tech savvy also be able to articulate themselves and speak about the platform that they're creating. Because I mean, I hear it on like the Zima Red podcast a lot with some of those tech guys who just can't really like speak on what they're creating, and then I hear it like just in the different Discord channels I'm in and snippets of interviews and stuff where it's like, you know, the person has all the knowledge in the world, but they can't like explain, or they can't do so in a manner that is helpful to people.
I do interviews, man. I'm trying to tell you, we live it sometimes. You know, sometimes the interviews are super fun, and sometimes it's like, whoa, I'm like pulling pulling teeth. You know, like, come on, man, let's have a little bit of fun with this thing. You know.
But he was, man, he was cool. He was just like chill. I'm not sure exactly which country he's in, but I think in reference to us here in the States, I think he's on the other side of the pond over there. Maybe he's in Australia. I think he might be Australian, actually. I'm not sure.
I think New Zealand.
New Zealand? Okay.
I'm going to throw that out there. I might have seen
he's got some sort of a...
Like Lord of the Rings
it was
accent.
the first time I'd ever seen him talk. It was the first time I'd ever seen an interview with him. I don't know. It was just... felt good. It made me like feel good about crypto voxels. It made me want to buy land.
So he probably needed that interview then bad.
Well, that's good that he has that gift of gab then. Yeah, because
absolutely.
that just
I've heard nothing but good things about the way he communicates with his people. That's for sure. I mean, regardless of whatever the island sales and all that, I've heard nothing but good things about the way he goes about like his communication and in the Discord and shit like that. You know. So,
yeah. And like outside of that, I can't really. Obviously, I'm not as invested into the project with my time, but like other than the land sale issues, I don't know if there's been any other like real major complaints against him.
No, not that I know of, and I'm not in there like that, and you know, but I've heard a lot of good things, you know, about the way he.
I wonder how big that team is. I wonder how big that team is.
I think it's just him, right?
2 guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's like, I mean, maybe like closer to 5, but I'm pretty sure that he just recently hired people.
Oh, wow.
So
from what I always heard, it was
with that island money. I'm joking.
Hey man, that's how you do it. I guess he's trying to create more value. I've seen him tweet out things about like VR and shit coming soon.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great. That'd be great for them in that platform. I think that would look really cool. And
I'm gonna try it.
And I feel like you would get more control. Yeah. Like, you know, I think that your guy kind of moves around funny now, but if you were in VR, it probably wouldn't be that bad. Like having the guy being like this weird mannequin-looking figure, you know, you could, you know, all this stuff can be fixed, and you know, that's what I'm starting to understand from what we've been doing here, is that, you know, there's always going to be upgrades, you know, and things are gonna, you know, look and run better as time goes on. You know, we always talk about how a week is a month here, a month is a year type thing, you know, and like, you know, it really isn't, though. You know, the time is running regular, and you know, in a year there could be some way better, you know, things that help you, you know, on the technical side run better. So like a invention can happen, you know, or something, innovation can happen in a year. You know, think about how much we get done in a week. So it's, you know, there's got to be a level of patience that we have, even though we have none, because how fast things run and how quickly things are changing, and you know, that's cool.
Yeah. On that, we do have an update for you guys. It's a pretty interesting one. You can now merge an existing scene with metas.
That's great. That's great. And I've been kind of waiting for that, because you know, I do a little bit of building, you know, and I would love to like I want my graffiti wall back. You know, but I haven't been. You know, I gotta get with you guys about that, because I gotta figure out. I want to mess with my land in the neighborhood, and I want to put my metas there, and I just you know, I gotta get permissions and stuff, because that's my man's land. It's like the land that I'm on here. This is the land that we have together, and that's another piece of land that he bought. So I don't remember what wallet has permissions to that thing, because I went to Scorpio's spot not that long ago. He was messing with his metas, and I went to go up the paywall, because you know, I'm a VIP because I live in the neighborhood, and I'm like, hey man, this thing don't think I live in the neighborhood, you know. I was like, because it's a different wallet that I own, that I have the permissions in, I think. So I'll figure all that out and then get in touch with you guys about that, whatever.
You can deploy the Ethermon garden inside your building. I mean, your graffiti wall, you can cover, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, if this is the case now, I can just build something and it'll be like, I'll have an Ethermon garden in my wall. My wall will probably have like a frame around it, and you know, like I can do all this stuff. I'm not like, I'm pretty, you know, I can do it. So I'm just I'll get in there and start doing it once I can. So it'll be fun.
So that means builder scenes, that means districts, that means people with crazy builds that don't want to sell. I mean, all of it can be merged
That's
into a
good.
single.
That's like live now.
It's live now.
That's dope.
So it's live as an MVP. We've already deployed it and tested it with Ambrose's build last night.
Yeah, I thought I scanned through that quick, but I was like, I don't know, sleeping or something, you know. I do this stuff in my sleep. I swear to God, at this point, like I'm just like, I'll look at a conversation, like I'm like in my pillow. I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting, you know, falling right to
right. Yeah, so it's one of those things that we weren't planning on doing sooner rather than later, but so many people have been asking about it, so it's like, hey man, we should probably do this now.
I mean, that's why my metas sit. That's why my metas sit, because if I can't mess with my builds, I like to build, and you know, I think that again, that's why my metas sit. You know, and now I'm happy that I can have him unsit. I can have him stand. God damn it!
It's pretty cool because now, like, you know, we have the casino. I mean, if they find a meta that they want to deploy, whatever it is, could be just anything, a fixture, a plant, they can now do it.
One of these fancy globes right here. Y'all see this?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and the market, that's good for creators because the market's bigger. Now it's pretty much 45,000 parcels can buy a meta, right? Instead of
you know what's so cool the other day, and since we're all here, my next door neighbor here, I'm gonna call him. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's got a really cool build, and I believe it's metas, and it has my globe inside it. So I didn't even know he bought that. Yeah. And I go inside the house, I'm like, look at this thing. That's fancy. So that was pretty cool. And he's gonna be doing something like some sort of non-profit thing in there. So I'm gonna try to get with him about what he's doing, and maybe I can link with him through you guys. I'd like to see what I can do to help him on any level. You know,
he deserves an interview because he's doing a non-profit, and that link that the globe takes you to is like his website is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why when I heard what he was doing, I'm like just interested in just doing something with him, or you know, whatever it may be, like an interview. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do any of you guys have like some strong knowledge on what's going on with these DAPcraft wearables? Like what's going on with this? Just like, so I've been away for the last couple of days. I really haven't been around too much.
It's been a crazy couple of days to be away, Anorak. I've been out of it, but I know what's going on. I ain't stupid.
I guess I should say, like, I've been away from the DAPcraft stuff. Like, I've only had limited time to kind of come in and out.
Sure.
So I'm at one of these things for buying a voucher. So if I buy a voucher, like, what is that? Like, is that at a future date I'm going to get a wearable? Like, can I buy a wearable right now today, or is it still kind of waiting for a little bit?
Well, the way that they've designed DAPcraft is that you're buying a recipe, a list of action items for you to do to eventually craft a wearable. I think for this particular one, the voucher is really a recipe in their vocabulary, but it's a very simple one in the sense that as soon as you buy the voucher, you have that wearable. Now, don't quote me on that, just because there's a lot of moving parts with this and things are changing in real time. However, I think it's going to ramp up in difficulty as they get harder, more rare wearables to put out there.
Okay. And also, I think they're also waiting for Decentraland to announce like the rest of the licensees, right? I think on Monday. So it's like, I think the voucher is like, you kind of like you put your place in line for whenever this is like officially launched, you know, where Decentraland is on board too, you know.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I would like to see all those launch at the same time. I think that was where you have a lot of point of contention, you know. My 2 cents, you know what I mean? I'm not going to really go too deep.
What do you guys? So we talked. So actually, Iman and Corv, you know, came over yesterday to do a podcast, and one of the topics was these wearables and like proof of work and all that stuff. So one of the things that I was recommending to DAPcraft is what they should do is provide another platform, another tool for the community, where, since eventually, in my opinion, right, we still have to do a vote, but in my opinion, we're going to go into an open market wearables where anybody can create wearables. But the platform, the tool that they should build is a tool where their job is to collect a bunch of API calls from different creators, like for Corv and Infinity Engine and the Meteor guys and all these different creators, and allow us, the four of us as citizens of Decentraland, to say, I want to create a wearable. I want to make it difficult to get my wearable, and it should be easy for me to create that difficulty in a sense with a recipe. And so in my recipe, you have to go get 10,000 jumps on Block Runner, and then you have to go get 5,000 score on Infinity Engine. And just my job is just to make it difficult but achievable so that it's hard to get that wearable, right? Creates that value.
And then, like you said, those API calls from our backend is what's verifying the
exactly
the achievement itself.
Yeah, and
so it's all automated. Basically.
Yeah, it's all automated.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to get your thoughts on, like, because you know everything we've been doing has been transparent, and I don't know if that's the right way to go. I think it works for us, and
we spoke about this during the Ethermon thing. I would never do it that way, you know.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You know, so that's fine that you guys want to do it that way. It's literally the opposite of the way I'd want to go about it. But you know, that's what we're here for. That's what was that?
Let's talk about that. So what do you mean exactly that you wouldn't want to do that?
I don't want to see it being the driving force behind somebody's game. Fine, you know, you can get that with, like, you can get a wearable as a proof of work thing that you guys talk about. But if I don't even have a game, I don't want a game. I don't look at Decentraland as a game, so I don't. I don't even fall into that category. I wouldn't want somebody to have to jump over hoops to get the wearable that I want to do.
So let me ask you a different question to kind of get to where you're going. If you create a wearable, Franky, whatever it is, a chain, a T-shirt, whatever it is, it says Franky Needles on there. Because of who you are and what you've been doing for Decentraland, it has inherent value, right? I would buy it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So what do you mean exactly? Like, when you create your wearable, do you want the ability just to put it out on the market?
My wearable would essentially be a 3D digital art piece, in my opinion. So as digital art, as crypto art has value,
how do I obtain it?
Money.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then the value the value would be given by the secondary market being sold the second and third time as crypto art. Same way it looks.
So I want to be clear, is that when we say proof of work, I'm not saying every wearable needs to be proof of work.
I know that, and I know that we've had this conversation. I know you want to clarify that, but definitely we've had this conversation. But what I'm saying is, my style would be, make something because it's fly, because it's dope, because it has a story behind it. Somebody wants to buy it, and if the person sells it twice, that's where the value starts to be like the agreed upon value.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so what we're discussing is essentially like two separate value propositions within the same market.
Yeah. Which
I think is a good thing.
Yeah, and we've always talked about this as like, even though our opinions differ, it doesn't mean that your way is bad or my way is bad. I'm just saying that's not the way I would go. But if you have a game, yeah, you should go probably that way, but I don't have a game. I'm not even interested in having a game, really, so.
But you know that with this platform or this tool, you don't have to use your own game. You can just be like, I want to create this wearable and I want to make it difficult to obtain just because this is what I want to do with this particular design.
But I don't want to make it difficult to obtain. I want it to be nice and easy to obtain, and so people can like a hysteria behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like a release date. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like when you release a rare shoe in the world and people buy it up in 20 seconds, there's your value. You know what I'm saying? So all right, why would I why would I buy these Dior sneakers? I don't know. They're going to sell out in 12 seconds. That's why. You know what I'm saying? So like, to me, that's the value. That's my way I want to do it. But I'm not against you guys. I just think that my style would be the opposite from what you guys are talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the point is that it supports both ways. Like, it's not one or the other.
Yeah. You don't necessarily have to have the game either. Like, what if you could mint, like, I don't know, let's just use the example of 100. Just because there's nothing in between 10 and 100. So let's just say 100. What if what if you could do like sell 50 or like sell 25, and then instead of doing it where it's so many blocks or so many jumps on like a game or something, what if it's like so many hours spent listening at the radio station?
I still
or
would
like
Exactly.
I still would hate it to death.
But then, like,
the reason I say that is because, like, it's like this, man. If you want to give somebody a prize, buy the wearables, give it as a prize. You put up the money, you know, it is what it is, and now it's valuable because you gave it out as a prize because you bought it. You know, that's just my thought process. And again, like, it's not like I'm trying to badmouth anybody's thought processes. You know, we all come from different things. But if I was going to do it, I would want it to be available the day it came out, every single one of them, make everybody, you know, like, let's make a hype around it. I am that kind of person. I like events and stuff like that is kind of my thing, you know. So I'd make an event of it. I would probably throw a huge party involved with it, you know, like, you know, that's just me.
We minted 100 Ethermon metas, and 100 are available to buy. Right? There's no work to it other than buying.
Just go get them, yeah. And then, you know, the early people were incentivized to get them for a cheaper price. You know, I've always liked that you guys did that. And I got one early. Shit, I'm happy, you know. Yeah. I made $1 off of it. I'm just still happy with it, you know. So, like, you know, it's I don't know. It just is what it is. You know, that would be my style to do it. And because I think it has a lot more to do with style. And I would like it, you know, to be more like a digital, like considered essentially 3D digital art.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think with this tool, I think we should give the community the opportunity, if they want, to make their wearable difficult to obtain in whatever fashion they want to. Mm-hmm. It could be listening hours. It could be spending just time in the block runner listening to our podcast. I mean, it could be anything that we can back and prove with an API call, right? So I think we should allow that as a functionality within Decentraland.
I think it should be available, but I think I should be able to do it my way too.
Oh, I totally
100%.
See what I'm saying?
Totally
and like, you know, about like it being open, I actually like, I don't know. I don't love that, but I don't hate it. It's just whatever the community decides on that one, I'll let the community be the judge of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other. I think that I don't care if people feel that everybody should be able to, like, everybody can't play on the same baseball field, man. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, people get cut from the team. So I don't know, you know, where this, like, you know, kind of like
anybody should be able to try to play baseball.
Yeah, but if you get cut, you get cut. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
So, that's like, what the market does.
Yeah.
The market.
I feel you. I know that concept, but I'm not in that same realm either. You know what I mean? Again, it is what it is. We have, you know, that's what we're gonna have community votes for and stuff like that, and DAO system and all that. So I'm gonna go with whatever the community wants. That's what we're doing. You know, this is how we build in the community. So I don't feel that it should be my way or your way. Whatever they decide it's gonna be, nothing's gonna stop me from going over there. My shit's gonna be dope, no matter when I can put it out or how it's gonna get put out. It's gonna be dope. I guarantee.
If the community DAO votes for licenses, and that's the vote that gets sent, then we have to adjust accordingly. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you want to go over there, you're gonna get a license.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's just how I feel. You know, I feel like the conversation needs to be had, but you know, we gotta all understand that we from the same community. When we had the reason why I wore this shirt, and I'm not even gonna get into it, but like too much. But we had a huge argument back in the day, and I got on somebody because they were being rude to Corv, and then at the end of that, I gave it about a day of like hard trolling this person. I never trolled in my life, but I did it. You know. At the end of it, I was like, you know, we as a community need to be more respectful to each other, understanding that we're trying to build this thing together. You know, yes, we're gonna have differences in opinions and all that, but understanding that you're gonna want to work with these people, man. You know what I'm saying? You might not even think you're gonna want to work with these people, but you might have to work with these people in the future. You know, to build this thing that we're building. You know, 100%. You know, I'm learning that too. Clark keeps me on, you know, good tabs, man. Frankie, don't go out there, go cuss everybody out. All right, man. I'm gonna do something else. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm learning. You know, it's, you know, but we've been through some growing pains. We'll go through some more growing pains, and hopefully we can come out on the other side with a big respect for everybody who lived through it. You know?
Yeah. Anorak, what are your thoughts? on the whole wearable thing.
I don't know. It was kind of funny. It was funny to see everything get brought back up. It's like the same conversation we had like a month and a half ago, where it's like,
yeah, it was.
I mean, it I don't know, kind of boils down to like, how heavy are you in the wearables marketplace, and like where do your interests lie? Like people like Franky, and I'm sure you met his own guys, are just in the same mindset of like, whatever happens. You know, I'm still going to be running Metazone, still going to be doing the radio station. This stuff doesn't matter. But to some people, like, that's all Decentraland is buying and selling of the different NFTs. It was land and it was wearables, and now people are starting to do names just because gas prices are so high to be buying and selling wearables. So it's just, people are always going to be trying to just be like really active. Like it's a stimulating activity, going through the marketplace, finding something, selling it. Like it keeps people's attention, and like, yes, it attracts people to the space, but at the same time, the people that are just buying and selling wearables, like there's a select few of them that are out here doing stuff and pushing content. And
but what I'll say is, I was one of those guys and turned into this guy. So, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, would I had stayed if I wasn't messing with the wearables market? Who knows? Because I wasn't any of that. Wasn't any of this before any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm gonna obviously listen to everyone's opinion. It sucks when people get a little too personal in Discord, and I mean, I fall victim to it at times too. But like, it's frustrating when there's people that are shouting down like Sugar Club and the Metazone guys and stuff, and it's like, but like, people, like, you're not.
Yeah, that's
really
the thing, is one thing you got to do is
There's
promote
too many
doing. You know what I'm saying?
investors
People that are
doing
doing.
nothing.
I'm sorry, Anorak.
No, I don't know. It's just frustrating to me when it's like people are trying to dictate the future of the platform when they're not really doing anything for the platform. And people can sit up here and tell me that the wearables collectors are pushing the growth of the platform, but I haven't seen them do a damn thing to bring on any new users. I haven't seen them.
I don't know.
do
I mean,
anything
I've definitely brought on new users because of wearables, and I brought on new users as a person that's been doing all this stuff after I was a wearables person. So it's just about how you go about it. Again, about the respect factor. It's like respecting everybody's vision, because some people think like this, and some people think like this, and some people think like this. You know what I mean?
For the particular person that he's referring to, he hasn't done anything to bring anybody.
I get you. I mean, and again, I'm wearing this T-shirt. You guys know what it looks like, and you know, it was a similar situation, and I would, if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't have done it that way, is what I'm saying.
It's people I even talk to on a daily basis. I'm not referencing one person. It's people that like I even talk to and I'm cordial with, and I'm allowed to think a different way. Like I still have respect for them, but at the same time, like if you don't even come to Friday meetups, like you're not even like coming out and doing anything, like I really don't want to have someone like that dictate the future of the platform. And it was the same way.
But no one's going to dictate it in a singular fashion. Like, you know, no one, like, I'm not going to dictate it with, even though I have a huge, you know, pretty good platform here.
By the way they were talking, it sounds like they were dictating. Even though they
making demands. I should say demanding.
But people have demanded all kinds of things. I've seen somebody go into the Discord and say, I've got a bid of X amount of dollars. You need to take that. Does that mean I have to actually take the bid? Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, take everything with a grain of salt in that manner. You know what I mean? I tell my friends the same thing about, you know, come to me like XYZ said something on Facebook or some shit like that. And I'm like, well, why'd you listen? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like it, then why'd you listen? And why you getting yourself all hyped up? You know?
And I think that's what we're doing, Franky. I think like the conversation we were having, I don't think anybody took offense to it. It's like, dude, it's going to happen whether you like it or not. And if it does, and if it happens to go your way, then great for you. Yeah. That's it. You know, you move on, we adjust accordingly, and that's it. No big deal.
There's gonna be a community decision making process here, and I think that's going to be the beautiful part. Again, going to be some growing pains, but we're going to have to come out on the other side better community because of that. I mean, there's going to be people. Yeah. You know, you remember, like, you know, there's huge groups of people that we like. Again, like with the WeChat group, right? How do they feel about it? Do we even know?
It's true.
You know, have we had that argument over there? Do you want to go have it? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a vote, and when the vote happens, it's going to be what happens. Like, okay, for instance, the land, I felt, and I didn't even know how to vote back then, but I felt that land should have had more value when it came to voting. But it went the way it went. Done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then became a little bit more influential just from being more influential. You know what I mean? So, again, you're never going to stop me from going over there if I want to go over there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? These people have different opinions, and they have a strong opinion, heading towards their ideological implementation of wearables. Mm-hmm. But it still doesn't mean anything. The vote has to happen, and
exactly, it has not happened yet. So we're gonna test the waters. The whole point of this, and I will say, because talking to the team, the whole point of doing it this way, even though, like I said, I would have liked to see all 5 going out at the same time, but the point of doing it this way was to see how things worked. Like, just like technically, not even about how the structure of giving them out works, about how the mechanics of the avatar moving works. So we needed to do that. So it's getting done. And we need to just move on with the fact that that's getting done. And there's going to be, an announcement on Monday, and we'll see how that goes. And then we're going to move on. And then eventually we're going to have our vote. And then at that point, you can kind of pivot and do whatever it works for your business plan. And that's what I've always said in here. I've had to change my business plan 4 or 5 times. So, if I was sitting here talking about, I've been waiting on flying since day 1.
Yeah, right.
Then what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Or what if I was still mad that I can't get paint on the wall yet?
Yeah.
Like, that was the game plan. Remember in the beginning? Paint on the wall.
Yeah,
live paint on the wall.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. Look at us now. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? You got to just go with whatever's going to happen here, because it's not done. We ain't even, even though we are launched, we're in beta. You know what I'm saying? Things aren't done yet. The whole if the DAO's not up and we're not making decisions as a community, then things aren't done yet. And there's things still getting. We just got messaging last week or something like that. So I think that a level of patience needs to be practice here. With the platform, not with the people in there, with the platform. If you don't like a conversation, I suggest you just do what I did. Did you see one message from me in that conversation?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Is there any way that we could still use the Agora poll, or are we just past that? Like, we can't go back?
I don't know.
Like the voting tool that we used to use, like, can't we? Is there a way
I think
we
they have
could use
abolished that, right? They abolished the Agora tool.
Pretty close to that, Frankie. So. Pretty close. I think they're just transitioning to the DAO.
To the DAO, yeah.
It's just that.
Yeah, and it's.
But we had the Agora pool for 2.5 years while we were transitioning to the DAO. Why don't we have it anymore? Is there like a technical thing where we just can't have it while they're like really working on this stage of the DAO? Like, why is it now there's no voting system, like, period? Sure. Because that would solve like damn near 60 to 80% of these debates if we could just, all right, vote on it. All right,
yeah.
And then after that, it's over.
I think that's
like that's why we're sitting here arguing for 55 days on the same topic. It's because this topic is inevitably going to happen. Something's going to happen with it. We've just been sitting here for 2 months waiting for something to happen, bickering with each other. It's like, it's just,
but bickering, you have to be a part of bickering in order to be bickering.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We're all part of it at some point.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think the DAO, I think the wearables vote on the DAO is going to be a good showcase of how the DAO is going to work.
I think that's what we're trying to be doing. Yeah. So
if we do a Agora vote, it solves the little bickering situation, but it doesn't really test the DAO.
I think that we should test the DAO before we do this one. That's for sure. That's another thing. The dead man ping is probably a better vote to do first, or points of interest probably better to do first than wearables.
Yeah, right.
I know it's more urgent to do the wearables one, but I'm trying to tell you, man, we probably just give it a test run before we start just like trying to race this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, Toonpunk just said in the chat that the reason why is because landowners can't vote on Agora.
Aha.
And I think that was like the last. That was the last vote. Yeah.
Okay.
So now this new system is going to incorporate those landowners. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's something that makes sense. That's cool. You know?
Yeah.
Again, some level of patience just needs to be practiced here. You know, we're all gonna be fine, man. Like, you know, because your business plan shouldn't be contingent on anything right now because everything's not done really. You know.
Yeah, it's true.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So, you know, if you were reading that chat in Decentraland's general chat, it transitioned from wearable to like, should we even have a DAO? And so,
yeah, I mean, again, no one's going to be able to make that decision on their own. So who cares?
Yeah. And ultimately, like the entire crypto community is working on a decentralized autonomous organization. And it's not perfect, but there's literally not another option. Right. And some people are not aware of that, and they'll eventually come to the same conclusion. Right. It's just going to take some time, but it's
Decentraland. You know what I mean? Decentraland.
Yeah.
It's in the name. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's why I showed up. I didn't show up for wearables, even though I got really involved with it. You know what I mean? But I showed up because it's Decentraland. I didn't show up for any other reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Same.
That was like the most interesting part about all this, because I mean, there's tons of metaverse competition out there, like from the gaming universe. Me and Will saw something last night called Core. So it's basically like a Fortnite / Roblox merge platform where like it's community created content. Yeah, it's all builder focused, where like anybody can develop games. Yeah. But I mean, so what? Like, you don't own anything at the end of the day. It's you just
my whole thing was about that, and that's why I love being able to get on here and talk shit the way I talk shit, because can't nobody shut me off. HP could shut me off for a little while, but I can get more hosted from somewhere else. You know, so I can talk shit, and I get to do that, and I love doing that.
Yeah, it's that censorship, man. You can't be censored. I mean, that's a society you'd want to like traverse just because you want to see what happens.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, again, that's my reasoning for being here, even though, you know, I found that market to be a lot of fun, you know, and I enjoyed myself. And then I started working on things, and I started loving working on things, you know. You know, so it is what it is. You know, just like, if you don't, like, it might take a person a little while to be able to wrap their head. I can't even believe I wrapped my head around this stuff as fast as I did, because I come from a completely different background. I learned how to build a computer less than a year ago.
Right.
And then here I am
now
doing this shit. I'm doing the SDK. I put these screens up myself. Definitely not all by myself, you know, because I had some help. People helped me with the code and shit like that. But, you know, learning how to build and learning how to texture this building, learning how to texture this building by itself was some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm blown away that I was able to do all that, and it only was because of my own interest in Decentraland. You know what I mean?
You know, it's funny. Kryptonaut says that he thinks HP could probably shut us all off. Honestly,
I believe in anything. I believe HP could fly right now. If you told me you can fly, I'm like, I believe it.
You're the only avatar that's blue, so kudos to him.
I didn't even. It was so funny because I ran into him in Decentraland University. Didn't even question it. I didn't even think twice about it. I don't know why I didn't. I didn't notice until somebody said he was blue in the chat. You know, I was like, "What's up, HP?" Like, you know, I didn't think like, "Is he blue right now?" I didn't think like that. I was just like, "Oh, there's HP and he's blue." You know.
So does that mean he could like literally just change the avatar himself? Like he could put a gargoyle in this world if he wanted to? Or
I don't know.
He hasn't got that far yet.
I don't know, man. I 100% just don't know.
I probably shouldn't give him more ideas.
I don't know, you know? Man. I don't know.
Or maybe I should, and maybe that's not a bad thing. You know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Expand the avatars a little bit.
Oh shit. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything.
What we have for time?
I think so.
Let's get hippies that occurred this week.
Mm-hmm.
We got Dapcraft. Oh, so in June 15th, you'll be able to launch your Ethermon garden.
like live Ethermon going. That's cool because that gives me a little time. I don't know if I'll have my stuff up by then, but because I want to, like you're saying, I want to build a little something around it, you know, and do something cool, you know.
Yeah, and
so this is like phase 1 too. So the second phase is I mean, if you think about it, this is your Ethermon garden that feeds your Cobra's Ethermon, right? Mm-hmm. But there's no way for a player to get an Ethermon, and so that's going to be the second.
That's the next phase. Nice.
So now anybody. So we've aligned the creators with the landowners, mm-hmm. and now with Ethermon, the next phase is aligning the landowners with the players.
That makes sense. That makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
And what really gets me inspired about that is how big the people that are in the WeChat conversation, they love that shit. You know what I mean?
They do.
You know, there seems to be an energy behind Ethermon that's pretty cool for them. Very similar to the energy that me and Anorak see for the people in Axie. You know, mm-hmm. They like love that community.
I think it's because it's just like cute shit, man. Like they love these little cute creatures. You know what I mean?
That's what my man, one of my players. He was like, "Yo, my girl just like looks at my phone and she's like, those are so cute," and he's like, "No, they're not." You know.
That's funny.
Oh,
yeah,
it's a lot of fun, man.
But also, get involved in this this Dabcraft treasure hunt that's going on for the next 6 or 7 days, because I don't necessarily know what they're giving out, but it's just a good way to kind of like visit all of the MetaZone hosts and see like these cool schemes that they've built to like host these Dabcraft capsules.
Scorpio control, man.
Scorpio? Yeah. I mean, go to Studs, dude.
Studs too, yeah.
Studs is crazy. I made like a cool pack runner video yesterday at Studs' arcade. Dude, that place is so cool.
Dude, that city was really good, man.
Yeah,
I'm on that.
I did. That was my masterpiece for now. Like my crown achievement when it comes to video editing.
Yeah.
But so that was cool. And then also we have a pack runner tournament ongoing now for like the next couple of days. All you gotta do is beat Red Nitrous, but good luck with that. And then you can not only win a wearable, but also enter yourself into a pool for the land giveaway on the 18th. So,
right.
And then next week we'll do the block runner for the 7 days. That's it.
Nice. Well, it's gonna be a lot of fun to see how this all plays out. And you know, I advise everybody to enjoy their lives, man. I mean, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, be happy, man. Like, you know, there's a lot of negative shit out there in the news and the media, like what we talked about at the start of this podcast. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like just there's so much to be like, you know, positive about it. So it's kind of hard to like not notice that shit because there's so much forces like telling us all the bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, in reality, man, like all these issues that are being brought to light, it's just they're highlighting the negative shit. In reality, things are getting better and better every day as we go along. You know?
Yeah. So we keep talking, and that's why I think that the big importance of doing this roundtable, you guys' podcast, all my interviews, is all about just talking, man, and getting to see where everybody's coming from, and you get to go home and think about it, and then you know come back new the next day. That's what's good, you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
and thank you all to the citizens out there for listening. I appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, definitely always appreciate you guys for showing up. I also got to thank Boss for sponsoring this thing. He's been nothing but support for me in what I've been trying to do in Decentraland, period. So I always got to say a big thank you to him. And you know, there's a lot more to come with me and Boss and the things that we're planning on doing. So we got an Axie tournament coming up sometime in next month that we're going to try to be basically broadcasting here in CV and on Discord and probably on major platforms. And yeah, that's a big project with a bunch of people linking, with a bunch of worlds connecting there. So it's going to be cool. Very cool. And I think that when we do that, it's going to give an example of what's possible with some working together, you know?
Yeah, keep us posted on that. I mean, I don't know enough about Axie to like know my way around, but
yeah. We're gonna start doing a couple mini events. We're gonna start talking about it. I'm gonna have Anorak do some like Macho Man Randy Savage cut scenes for this thing.
I'm about to cave some heads in of the pixel.
He ain't coming after my guys, man. No, I'm gonna have to let I'm gonna have to let Allegria interview you for that one because I can't, man. I got too much bias going on. You know what I mean? We've been working hard, but I'm super excited. I think it's gonna be something that we can bring a few communities together for, and hopefully we can cross promote all around. Because there's communities out there that are in their own, and we could visit them and they could visit us, and it's cool, man. That is what I'm a lot looking forward to, is building this community, building the whole general NFT community, and working with people and coexisting. It's gonna be important. There's so many people in the world that that could be in here doing stuff and in there doing stuff and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? That we don't need to be on some like, this is us and this is you, and the thing that we're doing is going to create a little competition for sure and a little bit of rivalry for sure, but it's all for essentially entertainment.
Yeah, it's healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be fun,
Thank
man.
you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
thanks so much, guys.
Week, right?
What's that?
We'll be back next week, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, this if this don't stay consistent, then what is?
Yeah.
Right. This is the beacon of hope.
Hey, shout out to Maddie. Maddie was Maddie a little bit sleepy today, and big respect to Maddie for always being up at some random ass hour in Australia to do the stuff that we do at our normal hours generally. So I gotta always give big respect to Maddie for all that kind of thing.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, guys.
Super pleasure. Thanks a lot, guys.
Later.
Peace.